The Gators are broke. Um,
I I mean, I don't know what to do, man.
so context. Let's kind of wrap everyone what's going on here. I'm reading an article from Hale, Florida Hale. Who wrote this article? So I can make sure I give them their credit. Benjamin Henderson. It's quoting the article. What's the guy's name? Edgar Thompson. Edgar
Edgar
Thompson,
Todd.
Orlando Sentinel. The reason I'm not reading that is it's a paywall. I'm not paying to read that. But the biggest factor, the biggest quote, is what you guys see on the board here from Freddie Webby, I believe is how it's pronounced, the director of revenue of Florida Victoria. It says, "We don't have enough money to attract talent and win." Oh boy. Oh boy. Um, then you've got that Blue Bloods Twitter, tweeting out, that we're broke, and this is not a good look. This is we're gonna talk about it.
Mhm.
I gotta be careful. People are gonna say you're negative and blah blah blah. I'm not being negative. I'm just how it's going to be viewed here. In this article, though, a very interesting point. It says attendance to Florida sporting events across the board is great, and the Gators constantly sold out the Swamp despite a 5-7 season. However, according to Google Trends, the term Florida Gators football is only the seventh most searched SEC team in the last 90 days. And according to Florida Victoria's CEO Nate Barbera, the Gators have half the collective members have schools like Ole Miss. Well, if they typed in Florida Gators Hightop, maybe they might see the trends up a little bit higher. Maybe a little bit higher, right? But as of now, it's a little low. So, a couple of things here. It, the context of the article. Break down your thoughts of it, Dave, and then we'll go a little bit deeper into it. But I know you kind of read it. You've got the actual article pulled up. Where was this stemming from?
I don't know. All I see is a paywall. But damn it, Edgar. Yeah, I mean, like, obviously, you see the results that have happened. You see the number 3 class drop to the number 16. Obviously, we had the money for the number 3 class if you looked at it back there. But when you don't put a good product out there on the field, a lot of people don't want to invest in that crappy product. Now, you get away with it in year 1 as a new head coach. Everybody's like, "Okay, year 1, whatever." They wanna see some sort of improvement in year 2. And right now, when you go back and you look at the transfer portal, how we handled that the first year, you're like, "Okay, well, maybe they'll handle it a little bit quicker this year." Same thing. Then you go look at special teams, same results. Look at the defense, same results. Look at the offensive line, worse results because you had Osiris Torres last year. You look at ETN transferring, going to Georgia. You look at your best players like Princely going to Ole Miss. You see all these little things starting to crumble down, and I could name probably about 10 more. A lot of people aren't going to invest in that. And that's what really happens to programs that start to go on a slow decline. Everything else, it's a domino effect, right? So how do you get away from that domino effect? You got to go out, you got to call corporate sponsors, you got to call boosters, and of course, obviously us, you can sign up for Florida Victorious, promo code Hightop, save 20% on your first month membership. Cheap plug there. But you got to get more people vested when you're losing. And the problem is that right now, I don't think there's good leadership, and I don't think that there is a sense of urgency from the administration, sense of urgency from Scott Strickland. I don't think that they really want to invest the time and just everything else to try to raise more money for Florida Victorious. Now, there's people like us who do go out there. We bust our tails, we bust our asses to go out there to get more people signed up. Same with Dave Waters, same with Allie, same with all these other people that, Brandon Olson, all these other people that have promo codes, right? Outreach members. So we bust our tails to do that. But it's going to take more than us. It's going to take a collaborative effort from the university. And I'm not talking about just billboards. We need way more than that. We've come up with ideas. Eddie's come up with ideas. There's tons of people that have come up with ideas to raise money. And some of those issues are being ignored. And that's why you're seeing the results that you see right now. And also, we don't need to be having meetings about stupid social media accounts. That just is a waste of time.
Hey,
And
that's for
that's a
next week, Dave. That's for next week. Easy.
I was about to say
Put
that's a
it
different
back in the
story
back
for
pocket. Put it in the back pocket, Dave.
it's it's a different story for a different day. But we got to stop wasting our time on stuff that is not going to get us the results. Okay. You are struggling on the field. The way that you fix that is you get elite talent. Now, for the whole thing about saying Florida's broke, we don't have money. I know how much DJ Lagway costed. I know how much LJ McCray costed. So you can't tell me we are completely broke, but we do need more money. Yes. And that's my thought.
So here's the thing, like this. this obviously gets publicity towards the collective, right? Because we're talking about the collective because of this article. The problem is, I don't believe people are going to go, oh, the rich person said we're poor. Let's all go run and cash in on this. I don't see that. I think it's going to have the negative effect, which is again, it's frustrating because we want to be successful. And like you said, I think the biggest thing is too because we're kind of going into a second world of Florida Victoria or this collective. And I know from the first one was we felt like we didn't know where our money was going. That was the kind of the biggest complaint. And I think that's still a question. It always will be a question. Like, how is this being divvied up? How is this being contributed? And we donate to a lot of different things, right? Whether it be just kind of here and there. We'll donate to the Ronald McDonald House or this charity here or this or that. It's a bigger scale, so we don't take that in consideration. This feels like it's almost like, hey, we're asking for an investment, not a donation, an investment. So you're asking me to be a part of something, and so I want to see a return on that. A return on that would be finishing with a top 5 class. A return on that would be the success on the football field. Now, yes, we're seeing in other sports, and it's coming around. Those are all great, but we all know where the heart and the passion goes to, and it goes to the football team. Second thing is why I'm not a fan of this type of response is, and this is I was telling you before the show, and I might be a little bit more conditioned in another way, but at work things break. There's an IT issue. We've been kind of conditioned to say, hey, well that's your problem. Well, no, it's IT. No, it's not. It's your problem. So if something goes wrong, I don't point to say, well, that's so and so's problem or this or that. And the good thing about that is I never really have to rely on somebody. Now, obviously, if it gets to the point, it's like, hey, there's a code. I don't know the code. But basically our job is to push to that point of getting the code. Like, hey, literally you can't go any further because we're taught that you shouldn't need someone else to get where you need to go. This is the complete opposite of that. If I'm him and we just fixed it and we fixed it before the show started, and I know this is kind of his stuff too, but it's like when I went to McDonald's the other day, hey, do you want to round up your change to donate? That's an easy one, right? Concession stands at the football game. Do you want to round up to donate to the Florida Victorious football sector? Absolutely. 100%. Hey, when you're checking out for your ticket, extra $5 goes to Florida Victorious. Absolutely. The jersey thing was going to be a big idea. Nobody's going to buy jerseys anymore because Trevor Etienne. So now you've lost out on that. I also know other schools, actually the Buffs are doing it. I'm sure others are doing it. They're creating collectives strictly dedicated to the football team. We are not doing that. And at one point, when this entire thing started 3 years ago, when we were doing this and we were tracking the collective and having conversations, Florida was in the top 5. It was the collective, the Gator Collective at that point, but it was in the top 5 for all collectives. We're nowhere to be found anymore. We're first to it all over it, and it's like the football team. We dominated. We got out there hot and early, and we've just slid back ever since. And again, it's kind of all coming around full circle of people being frustrated. Real quick, Tristan Creel, $2 just showing some love. He donated a couple of memberships. I'm trying to see how many he did, but thank you for your gift and memberships. For some reason, I can't see how many you did, but love you, man. It seems like it's a good handful, like 10 or 12 of them. So thank you. And then we also got $10 here that I missed. Let me see here from Terry Johnson. Says pear character flying in the air with a red cape and a smile on his face. I love that, Terry. That's how I feel right now. I feel like a pear character flying in the air with a red cape and a smile on my face. That's exactly how I feel. So, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. But yeah, it's again, people we're gonna get hit with the negativity and that we've been getting shit. We're being negative about this. We have a great relationship with the collective or the Florida Victorious, and obviously, we try to pump it up and do things for them. I think they get pushed back a lot, and I don't think it's the Victorious. I think it's more so from the school, because Jen and I we talked about multiple ideas of how we can do things, and she'll come back. She goes, "Yeah, we got turned down." And we don't ask for anything. I want you guys to know this. I like to make content, and I understand that is kind of my investment of hey. You don't have to pay us a dime. We just want to come out and do things and be a part of it and try to document it and give back to you guys. Because my biggest thing with the collective is because now these players can be involved when before they were much more stricken. With this, they should have the outlet to be able to talk and be involved and interact and get their brand out there. And the fans want that. They want to be closer to their players. And I don't know. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me, Dave.
Yeah, that quote there too. It's like we have money to attract talent, but we don't have enough. I don't like that quote only because it's like, oh, we can't get any elite players. We did sign elite players in this class, And you got to remember, we had the number 3 class. Now, I don't know if something had happened between here and there, and they said they made promises they couldn't keep. No, I don't know that. I don't know anything about that. But I know when you only win 5 games in one season, and a lot of people are negatively recruiting against you, then you're probably going to go to the other school just because, oh man, this is a dumpster fire. I'm not going to go here. It is actually your job as a head coach, and you still have that job as a head coach and a coaching staff to keep that kid committed and signed as well. So I don't want to blame it all on NIL because I feel like a lot of it does get blamed on NIL. And also at the same time, I think a lot of it gets blamed on Florida Victorious, and it's not because Florida
Sure.
Victorious, as you
It's a good
we
point.
have pitched ideas to them, and they have brought up ideas, and it's been getting shut down by the university and the school and the administration and
And
Scott
maybe,
Strickland. Hold on, they are
sorry,
the issues right now, and that's why we are where we are right now, and they need to do something about it, and if they don't, Scott Strickland's gonna be looking for another job, and so is Billy Napier.
and maybe this is me being a tiny brain, right? Maybe Freddie Webby here is playing big picture, and this isn't a shot at us. Maybe this is a shot across the bow to the school, but through through the waves of the people in a sense, kind of like Robin Hood, right? Like he's going through, maybe that's what this is. Like, hey, I'm going to make it seem like it's an attack to raise this bigger picture. I don't know. I'm hypothetical here, but
Yeah. I think I know what you're saying. Like basically saying like, hey, we need more money. Basically, hey, we need guys, we need more people to donate. Like, kind of send that message. But I'd like to hear it more from my head coach and my athletic director, more than just somebody that just writes an article.
well, maybe that's where he's going at too. It's like, hey, like we need more money, and this probably is a conversation behind closed doors of like, hey, why doesn't Billy say this? Why doesn't Strickland say this? And so he's trying to say like, we need these things. We're behind in these things. You guys could help with these things, but you're choosing not to. So maybe that's kind of an article like this. Somebody says, "Sean, why don't you donate?" We do donate, by the way, and I think Day does too.
Yeah, I,
So
I
like,
donate to.
we do. We're logged in. When we read our notes, we read our notes from the collective board, which the only way we
I,
can
I,
get the collective board is if you donate.
I'll say this: as much as I don't agree with things, and sometimes I get angry about it, it will never ever take my donation away from the NIL because I want to see us win.
For sure. I don't donate the $96, which I kind of want to, so I can go meet Spurrier. But that's it. I've thought about it. I've been tempted.
Hey,
Genuinely.
I met him for free, baby.
See, that's why I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see if I can check in on that. But look, it's interesting. Everyone's kind of talking about it, so I figure we give you our thoughts and takes on it. Obviously, we're heavily involved with it for a lot of the times. Kind of rolling into